Hello, Natalie. Welcome to the podcast. How you going?
I'm good, Paul. How are you?
I'm good. We were just talking off air about the extremes, but you've been in Perth and you've got hot, sunny weather over there, and I've got wet, humid weather over here.
Hey, look, I don't miss that Queensland weather.
I know you are a Queensland girl, but you don't miss it, do you?
Not at all. Not at all. No, it's nice over here at the moment.
I bet it is. All right. Well, I wanted to obviously get you on, as we've spoken about and talk about your history with health and fitness, your history with nutrition, and obviously then your more recent bodybuilding success as well, which was very cool.
Yep.
But just briefly introduce yourself and then take us back to where sort of your exposure to health and fitness came about, and then obviously your I guess interpretation of what you believed that to be, and then what you followed from there. Does that make sense?
No, it sounds good. Sounds
cool.
Good. Well, I'm now 33, getting into the 30s. I've got two young daughters, so 5 and 2 at the moment.
Yep.
We currently live in Perth, but we do move around a fair bit. So this is our current home. I like to call myself a stay-at-home fit mum. I don't work at the moment, so my life revolves around me going to the gym.
Yes.
And look, I've been working with you since I think it was beginning of 2017. So we're getting 5 years.
Then that was when you were back in Queensland too, wasn't it?
Yeah, back in the good old Emerald days.
Emerald.
It was a good part of life there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's where it all sort of started, and that's a bit about me. So going into, I guess, where I've started my fitness journey, look, I was always a sporty kid at school and was big into my tennis.
Yep.
So that's where it sort of started there. And then once I got into my 20s and was going to uni, I started going to the gym, and I was just doing my own thing. I didn't have a coach, which was meaningful there. And look, my focus was on, like any girl, legs and abs. I just wanted to be abs and do not give me upper body, and I stand away from those deadlifts and everything because I did not want to be bulky.
Right.
Not for me. I was wanting to be skinny and toned. That's the good old 20-year version of myself now that I look back. And look, each session, I went in and I was following, well, back then it was magazines, maybe a little bit of social media, I can't even remember, and creating my own little workout plan. And it was a bit of accessory or leg stuff here, and then more abs, a bit of leg, more abs. And I was trying to cram so much into each session, but and not focusing on like 1 or 2 muscle groups.
Okay.
And just trying to, go for that hour, get it done. And then on those other days, I just did cardio because it's what you did. Like back then, it was that cardio in, try and burn the calories. And
did you try and give yourself targets on doing those calories? Were you trying to chase a number?
Look, I didn't have a heart rate monitor or anything. So
no. But even on the machine, did the machines back then have the numbers on? Or are we talking?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. I can't remember those numbers, but look, as long as I got a sweat up, I felt like I'd done a good burn.
Yep.
And look, I ticked the box for the day. I'd done my exercise.
Yep.
And I felt like I had achieved something. So that was probably it from a fitness perspective. I tried the fitness classes. I had fun. I enjoyed them, but look, it didn't give me the body composition goal that I thought they were going to.
Sure.
But again, it was just a matter of staying active. But look, I had these goals and they just weren't coming.
Right.
I was just not getting anywhere with the gains. But then I look back on the nutrition style that I was going back then, and I had that old mindset that I had to be in this calorie deficit, and then I had to have this low body fat percentage in order to be able to have muscle. But hey, I didn't have the calories, so I couldn't build that muscle. And this went on for a long time. It was hammered into my brain that I just had to not eat, and that was the way that you just maintain the skinny version. But I was doing so much damage to my body and back, and I just, like, the calories, I wasn't properly tracking. But if I look now compared to what I'm been eating now since working with you, being on probably 1,000 to 1,200 calories. I
Wow.
was chronically underfed and under-eating.
Yep.
I was scared to eat those carbs. And so therefore I wasn't getting the fiber into my diet, so my digestion system was copying it.
Yep.
Didn't hit protein. I was scared to eat protein for some reason. I just don't know. I was young, I was uneducated.
Yep.
So didn't hit that protein target. So how was I going to create muscle if I was not refueling the muscle? So,
Yeah, absolutely.
That's probably, where it all sort of started until I met you. And then you changed my whole outlook on nutrition and how it linked to the weight training. And if you don't fuel the fire, so fuel that metabolism, how are you possibly going to build the muscle? So, and hey, look, doesn't the body respond when you feed it? So
it does.
That was a big surprise for me.
There you go. Absolutely. So during that time of obviously doing a lot of cardio, a lot of legs, a lot of abs, and then not eating much, talk about that experience. Like, were you feeling really tired and lethargic all the time? Did it impact you physiologically? Like, did you have any other, symptoms in regards to just under eating?
Yeah, definitely. As I look back, I constantly being that underfed, I was jeopardizing my health in a big way.
Yep.
And I remember some of the key things that I now look back and notice that I wasn't listening to my body back then, so I was ignoring all of things.
Yep.
Looking back now, I can see that my sleep was poor. I was waking up once, twice, 3 times, if not, and I was going to the pantry because I was hungry.
Wow. Okay.
I was constantly nibbling in that kitchen, and even if I was staying over at a friend's house, like my best mate will advocate for this, but oh look, Nat's gone to the pantry to find the cookies.
Wow.
Have that glass of Milo, and she knows who I'm talking about there.
Yeah.
I was notorious the midnight snacking.
Yeah. Okay.
But I didn't know any better. I just couldn't sleep, so I was finding myself in the pantry.
Yeah. Right.
Naughty Nat, that was a big one.
Naughty Nat. So how did you feel? How did you feel about how you physically looked? Like you said, you obviously weren't getting that definition or the body composition that your goal was, but how did you feel about that? Like, were you just chasing the rainbow that wasn't there?
Yeah, and look, I was chasing the skinniest version of myself, the skinniest I could possibly be.
Right.
Without going over the top, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely the skinniest version of myself. I wanted the flattest stomach I could possibly get. And so I was looking at myself side on in the mirror. How flat could I get? What else did I need to do? I had this little voice in my head that was like, I need to gain the muscle, but I was scared to eat, to do anything, and watch that scale weight increase. I was on the scales every day. Yeah, right. That was my only form of measurement too. Like now, after working with you, like the biofeedback measurements that we do when we look at, compared to the old mindset, which is it was the scales. All we do was focus on those scales.
That would be, was that obsessive? Like you had to see that number every day?
Yep. Yeah, wow. Absolutely. If it went up 500 grams or even a couple of 100 grams, I'd be thinking about it. So
yeah, okay.
Man, so uneducated.
That's it. That is true. That is true. But how did all of that impact your headspace?
Surprisingly, not detrimental. I guess I didn't realize I was in deep. Like I was in deep in these. I was just in deep thinking about it all. But I was still enjoying life. Okay. No doubt. I was happy. My mindset was happy.
Yep.
I was still cruising through and still enjoying myself. I wasn't didn't have any negative thoughts. Yep. Surprisingly. Which is good.
Yep.
But it was just looking back now, just being so uneducated on what I was doing to my body, and I wasn't listening to signs. Like my hormones were also another thing that was way out of whack.
Okay.
My cycle's very irregular.
Yep.
So I've learned a lot now since working with you that obviously if we're extremely low body fats, how that affects our hormonal levels.
Absolutely.
Which also, like, when it comes to time, trying to conceive, wasn't as easy as what I thought it was going to be either.
Yeah.
Because I was so low in body fat. Probably not all of the account, but you know, it definitely played its part in it.
Absolutely, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So, we met when you were up in Emerald, and I think you were participating in some boot camp challenges back then, if that's correct.
Yeah.
It's a while ago now. It's like 5 years.
Yeah. 2017. Yeah. That's exactly right. I had just moved to Emerald after living in Salt Lake City.
Okay.
And I had a little, she would have been probably 12 months, 18 months, my first daughter at that point. So we were going to New Beginnings, which was a home-based personal training studio that Hayley had built that allowed us to have our kids around us. And
yes, that's right.
Yeah, weight-based fitness classes. They were really good. I went four days a week.
Yep.
And I was having a blast. It was a fitness class. My friends and I were doing it together.
Yep.
And I remember Jen, she's one of the personal trainers there. I think you work with her, Jen.
I do, yeah. Yep.
And I remember talking to her about it. I'm like, I'm not growing. I just want some more muscles, you know?
Yep.
Like, where's my muscles? And she goes, Nat, well, one, you need to do progressive overload. You can't just sit there and sit on the same weight, for one. Two, you're not pushing yourself. There's no sweat. I can't see any sweat on you. You are the biggest chatterbox in the class. So you need to stop having a big mum's catch up.
So you're doing plenty of work on your jaw.
Oh, yeah, totally. I was having a great catch up. So light bulb moment there.
Yep.
That obviously, yeah, you need to work hard. You need to push yourself. And you need to work on that progressive overload and start to lift heavier weight. I was scared to do that because it was this fine line between wanting to grow, but I didn't want to become bulky. Like,
yeah, of course.
That's an old mindset too.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be this beastly chick either. So
it's still a thing today. It hasn't gone away. Hey, women still think they're going to get massive by lifting weight.
I know. Yeah. It's not going to happen. Look, we're still trying, you and I.
Yeah. It's so true.
Easy. And it takes time. Right? Yep. It's not this quick fix by any means. You're not going to get that body overnight. But anyway, so then, life in Emerald was great. And I think you and I found each other because Hayley started working with you, the owner.
Yeah.
And then she brought you in to help with the 12-week challenges that she was doing.
Yeah. I think I was doing the nutrition side of things for a few clients.
Yeah. I remember and watching her because she'd just had another child.
Yep.
And just how amazing her physique started to change and what she was doing. And she was just a great role model for us all to go, what are you doing? I want to be a part of that.
Yeah, right.
And I think that's when, you and I signed up to you during one of her 12-week challenges.
Yep.
And then a bit of education started. It was the big change to my nutrition outlook. So no eating, watching, eating these little tiny meals of stuff, and then going to the cafe at night. So we looked at rebuilding my metabolism up because my metabolism was obviously so low, wasn't it?
It was. Well, when you sit on sort of 1,000 to 1,200 approximately for a long period of time, it does tend to underperform because that's what it's used to.
Yeah.
This is all you give it. This is all the fuel you're putting on the fire, so the fire's not going to be very big. Yeah.
That's exactly right. So. And then we started to increase the calories, and I was a bit like, oh, can I do it? Can we? What do I do? But hey, within a few weeks, I was just like, wow, feeling some extra energy in the gym.
There you go.
What is this stuff? I haven't had this before. So, That was really cool.
Oh, if only more people knew.
Only more people knew. Hey, you got to eat. You got to eat.
You got to eat.
So then, you know, towards the end of our time in Emerald, like I continued working with you, and then I changed my mindset working with Jen, and we did a bit more pushing, progressive overloading, and I decided to dip it a little bit more.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I had to tell my friends, I'm like, look, we're going to have to chat after class because apparently I'm not do it anymore. So. And yeah, look, and then that's when I started to see some body composition, and I was looking in the mirror. I'm like, oh, look, there's some delts there. I can do that, and there's bicep muscles, and oh yeah, no, this is fun. Let's keep going. So, yeah, I think that's where we sort of started then, and then you know what? So you started helping me with my metabolism. We were able to then do our second child.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. How was that? There you go. Make it healthier, and you've had a baby.
Have a baby. Why not?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
So, so then, the Liz came along. We moved to Perth.
Yep.
And then you dangled the carrot going, oh, no, what about some doing a comp?
I just threw that lure out and
see how it would be taken. I had no idea. I had no idea what it was, and I was like, oh, geez, what is all this about? So I remember taking Ryan along to a comp because he wasn't into it at all. He's like, why would you get on stage in a bikini and show everything off?
Yep.
And I remember taking him. We went to the ICN here in Perth, and then also the INBA when it was here.
Yep.
And both of us were like, oh, Nat, you could do this. You could really go on stage. Give this a go.
Yeah.
And I was hungry for it. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. That's
so
great.
Ryan's attitude towards it changed pretty quick?
Totally changed. And look, I will be totally honest here. We both went in and changed our mindset. You look at the athletes on stage, the women and the men.
Yep.
And it's not about the sex appeal at all.
Yep.
And that was huge. You walk in and you go, no, like, look at her glutes, look at her quads, or
like a piece of art, isn't it?
The piece of art, and it was just in the biggest applause and appreciation for the hard work that they put. Go on stage and just show off all their hard work that they have done over the years. And to go backstage, like I remember you telling me that, go backstage, have a look, see what it's all about.
Yep.
And it's its own team community. And everyone is just supporting everyone. There is I didn't see it in all my time competing.
No, there you go.
Any bad blood or any bad behavior, which was great. So, and I'm sure it's there.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it, and it was probably the very minority of it all.
100%. 100%. So let's fast forward then to your recent season. Obviously, we spoke about you competing a while before you did it, so you gave yourself plenty of time to prepare, not only physically but mentally, and obviously from a health perspective as well. How did you feel, given your history of obviously doing lots of cardio and being the skinny girl and that sort of thing, and then getting on stage with muscles and effectively, well, you won several divisions, didn't you?
Oh, yes. Look, when you and I did the off season, so we committed and was like, right, well, I remember you saying to me, we've got to do a decent build season before we get on stage.
Yep.
And to reverse my calories up to as high as possibly we could get to within the time frame. And that was hard to again watch the scales go up and watch the measurements increase, but I was feeling good, and Kelly was there for me, and we were chatting along the way, and she's like, just trust Paul.
Yeah, she's a good egg.
Yeah, she's a great egg. She helped me all along that way, the build phase, and then going into the competing part of it too. So and then then the comp prep started. I was surprised when you said 28 weeks. I was like, Jesus, this is a long time. This is like going on. But hey, there was definitely a method to your madness in going for that long, because we needed it. It's important to have that time and not do it aggressively and do it healthy.
Correct.
And I mean, I knew, like you said, Kelly said, look, it's going to be hard. But it was definitely harder than I thought it was going to be, more from a mental perspective than a physical perspective.
Yep.
Just having that extra commitment, dedication, being a hermit. And
how did you find that, just on a side note, like the lack of social interaction? Because I know you like to have a glass of wine with the girls. You and Ryan like to have a glass of wine every now and then. So taking that element away for 6 months, was that quite challenging, or did you didn't find it too bad?
Dude, at the start I did, because it was such a habit on the weekend, on Saturday.
I remember you actually messaged me once and said, "Oh, can I have a glass of wine?"
I was right at the start too, and then I was like, I remember my second text being, "Well, what about a vodka soda? Can I have vodka soda instead?" And you were just like, "No." And then I remember you texting me. You did it several times throughout the comp.
Yep.
Sending me these peach emojis. Like,
yep.
Do you want the glutes? Do you want to get on stage? Like, you cannot do this. And it was exactly, it just brought me back.
There you go.
You can't do it. But it got easier and the craving went away.
Yeah, okay.
After a little while, the craving went away. Like, food wasn't a motivator. You could have put a pizza in front of me, fish and chips, which my family did regularly have through the whole comp prep. Because we didn't obviously go out for dinner because it just wasn't worth it.
Sure.
At the 28 weeks, and we used to regularly, like every weekend, go out for the dinner or breakfast just as a family. It was our thing to do. So we just went back to takeaway. But that was fine. Like, food wasn't a motivator for me, but if someone opened up a glass of bloody wine in front of me, that was tough. So I definitely still had to have my wine glass and put my soda water in it. So to help the mental state get through that. But look, to talk about the whole competing process, it was a blast. I absolutely loved it.
Yep.
It took a village. People said that you needed the support throughout it, and I think, like, even on your recent Q&As that you've had, that was my major thing to tell others that were going through it. Your partner's got to be on board with you.
Yep.
Friends and your family. Not that you have to, I guess, explain everything you're doing to them, but they need to understand so that they're not making it harder for you in some ways as well.
Yep.
So it was important that I helped my friends along with the process, and to make that a little bit easier for them. But I intently made sure I did season B, especially here in Perth, because the Perth winter is absolutely terrible, and it's cold and it's wet and it's windy. And so no one goes out. So it's easy to become a hermit and not socialise actually for that 6 months. Whereas I give it to those that do season A to do it over the summer.
Yeah, that's hard. It is hard through Christmas and 100%.
Yeah, I give it to your athletes that are doing it. Good on them.
Yeah.
So I think, but look, not once I ever want to throw the towel in. I was committed.
That's good.
I was focused. It was, and having, like, with your team, particularly like Shah's along the journey, Michaela, we were all in regularly chatting, even though I was over this side of the country.
I was about to say, even though you're in Perth and they're over here in Queensland, that relationship's still built on a similar path, didn't it?
Geographically, it didn't matter. We were all in it together. We were all going through similar emotions. Again, Kelly was there helping us along. To make sure that we kept along the path. So just kept to the routine. Just didn't change up the routine. Do the gym, do the steps. I didn't. The posing probably was the harder part of the experience. I made sure I did it every day, either after doing a training session at the gym. I only got confident to do it at the gym towards the end, because everyone looks at you, strutting your heels up and down.
Yes. You sending me a few videos of you in the gym doing that.
I was like, yes, I can actually do it here now. I feel confident enough.
There you go.
But that takes time. Like, I remember you telling me start right early and do that. That made a huge difference to my confidence to be able to do the posing. And
100%.
Yeah, using Deb and using Moni along with that, they were great in teaching me and all the tricks of the trade and what to do. And Deb said towards the end, she's like, "You're just overthinking it. Stop overthinking it. You've got it, now rock it." So get out there and do it. And that was
what you did.
What I did.
Yeah.
And look, and then the first comp was ICN, and I feel I'm so sorry about the time difference, because man, that was a late night for you.
No, it doesn't matter. No, I didn't care.
Yeah, no, I was.
I was devastated that I couldn't be there, so at least I could watch it.
Hey, look, you tried. Bloody COVID.
Yeah, I know. I know. So how did you go? First show, and you I can't even remember. You pretty much placed in everything, didn't you?
I think I placed in everything. I did place in everything at the ICN.
Yep.
Surprised me, but I had a great support team behind stage to help keep me in focus as well. And I had you. We FaceTimed a lot throughout it all.
Yep.
So we did first timers, and which I think I came fourth, and then swimsuit I came second. I did that one. Yep. It was great to place in them all. So, and then fourth in the tall open, so that was cool, and fifth in the mama. But I learned a lot from that first competition, that first weekend, going into the second and competition.
Absolutely.
So, like, it was an extremely late night ICM, but surprisingly, the adrenaline just kicks in, and we had those lollies and chocolates and all that fun stuff.
All the fun stuff.
Yeah, all the fun stuff. So then, second week of prep, we did it. No worries. And then, YNF came around. It was fun to be in their first comp. It was great.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And the competitors, we all had a blast that day.
Yep.
It was so much fun. And I had a few wins.
You had a few wins. How good was that? You had like 3 wins, didn't you? 4. 3? 4?
Yeah. 4, I think so. First in the swimsuit, first in 30 plus, first in mama. No, 3. And then third in the open.
Oh, yeah. And then you did overall as well.
You got into the overalls.
You got into the overall.
3 of us in the overalls. So
how good. First season you make an overall. It took me 5 years to make an overall. So you've done well.
Thank you. Yeah, and look, one of my biggest memories of it, so my 5-year-old was in the audience watching as well, and I could hear her scream out, "She won again!"
Yeah.
Em, you're such a sweetheart.
How good. How good. That brings up a good point. Like, how did your kids take the whole prep, and then obviously the experience of you being on stage in, obviously next to not a lot of clothes? Like, how did you explain that to them? How did that whole period go?
Really well. So going through the prep, like I said, with the support team, it was a family goal. So we were all on the journey together.
Yep.
And I found it was actually really good. It's a really good sport to demonstrate to our kids in terms of setting goals, sticking to them, committing, and not quitting.
Yep.
And then from a body perspective, to show us that our bodies are worthy and to be happy within ourselves, and to show our physical and mental strength to go through such a process. So it's great role modeling. Like, Emerson actually brought along a little friend to come and watch me compete too. And I think if we look after ourselves, the goals that we're setting, we're being healthy within ourselves. We're showing them healthy habits with the way that we're going, and that dedication and commitment to goals. I think it's fantastic role modeling. It's great that we're showing good, as I said, healthy habits, I think.
Absolutely. Yep.
And like Emmy with the posing too, another part of being a part of the fit mum thing.
I know, she was in a
She's
few check-in photos.
yeah, she was right there in a pose. She got found these little plastic heels and she was in there posing with me. That was great. And look, she can do it. I never taught her. She just watched me do it, and her back pose, hands down, the best pose. So,
hey, there you go. Future competitor.
Future competitor. Yeah. No, I think it's great.
Yep.
Great for kids. Absolutely.
So obviously, you looked amazing on stage, and you were obviously very lean. Do you recall? Because I can't remember off the top of my head, what sort of calories you were sitting on as you went into those two shows?
This is I was sitting on just under 1900.
How's that? So you're looking your best, lots of muscle, and you're on 1900 calories compared to when you first sort of got into health and fitness, and you were on around 1000 to 1200. And
that's exactly right. Like, it's amazing. Like, so we reverse. I can't get over the power of that reverse dieting and building up that metabolism.
Yeah.
And the body now is just burning that fire, and it's just giving me more fuel. We can burn,
100%.
So yeah, it was great. And not that you're supposed to listen to all the other competitors and what they're all doing and sitting on.
Of course.
But I actually kept my mouth shut because I was like, oh man, I'm eating a lot more than you lot.
Unfortunately, that is the case. Like, there is a lot of competitors that end up on nothing just due to I don't know. It could be just poor education for the coach. It could be just I don't know. I won't obviously speculate, but I think my philosophy has always been to make sure you guys have the healthiest experience possible, as well as the great experience, and that's really important. I just pulled up your diet on my other screen here, where you're sitting now, and you're just over 2900 at the moment. That's a lot of food, isn't it?
I feel like a teenage boy. I tell you what, I can polish a foot-long Subway now, and I will be ready for that next meal within 2 hours.
There you go. Yeah. Isn't it amazing? It's
amazing. Yeah. Oh my God. Between Ron and I'm at the shops almost 3 days a week, just restocking.
Oh. And look, in all honesty, like, you're not the biggest of people, but because you're training so well and so effectively, and obviously have spent the time, we're talking years here, getting to this point, you're just a food machine.
I am. That's exactly right. And I just love being able to inspire others, like, to go on these fitness and health journeys and tell them, look, what you can do for your body and nourish it to eat healthily, and how it responds to your body. Like, I feel like I'm glowing inside and out some days, and people are like, what are you doing? Like, I want to be on this. Like, what's happening? I'm like, you wouldn't believe the food that I'm eating. So, yeah, I think right up until last week, I was eating more than Ryan. I think he's just taken over me now.
Yeah, he might have actually, yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you find training in the gym at the moment with that much fuel?
Oh, it's a daily PB. Headphones are on, pushing hard, and it's just like, wow, I can lift more. Let's throw some more weight on.
There you go.
Yeah, huge. It's just strength. So much strength. I am just buzzing with it. It's like, what else can we do? Like, let's just keep going. So
how good. Well, that's the point, isn't it? Now you've competed, and some people don't want to do it again, but you're very keen to have another crack at it. And so the objective now is obviously to develop your physique, to improve it from what it was, to be a better version in 12, 18 months' time, whenever that time comes around again. So we're certainly putting the right foot forward in regards to that, aren't we?
That's right. And it's just trusting the process. So, like with this, we're going back into the next build phase with next competition. And poor Ryan, I think he's probably copping a bit more whinging now than he even did during prep, because we are, my clothes are getting a little bit tighter again and everything. And I was like, just trust the process. And I'm sure you are too, telling me, like, nah, we've just got to keep going. You can't stop. So yeah.
Well, that's it.
Going. We'll
That's
look
it.
back and we'll be like, look at that glute. We are going to keep growing. So
100%. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, how good.
It
So,
was good.
based on your entire health and fitness experience from way back when to now, like, what's your advice to someone who, in regards to taking the right path and taking a path that's going to be healthy for them, not necessarily the old stigma of lots of exercise and no food. Can you provide some sort of insight? Like, as you said, you're a mum, you're a wife, you're busy, but you still find time for the gym. You still look after yourself as well.
Yeah. So I think it's having those SMART goals in place.
Yep.
And celebrating every step along the way is a big one. So you don't fall off the bandwagon. Like, if you're taking those extreme approaches, it's not going to be sustainable. You can't keep it up. So you just make the slow changes over a period of time. So it's a lifestyle change. It's not a diet.
That's right.
We can't stay in calorie deficit and be 24/7 shredded. Like, that's just not the way that we're built, and it's not good for us to be doing that. So using those extra calories to hit those strength goals in the gym. If you want to build the shape and build that muscle, you've got to eat, but eating strategically. So that's where, like, engaging with a professional like yourself is really important, because the way you're doing it right and you're being educated along the way, because education's power. Like, I've been on multiple different versions of myself, and I'm definitely the best version I've been to date.
How good.
And yeah, exactly. So to help others along with their journey, so having the right influences around them too, so that they don't fall off the bandwagon, and they're with great support communities like the one that you've got, where we can all have a chat and keep each other motivated. And then you don't, I don't want to say it, like, you don't need the cardio. You've said it.
I do say
huge mindset. Yeah, exactly. You don't need the cardio. Get in the weights room. Push yourself. Just do it. It's amazing how great you feel. Like, I'm the best wife, mother, daughter, sister that I have ever been, because I'm mentally and physically fit. I get my hour of power in every day.
Yep.
Most days, and it just makes such a difference. So
that's a good point you raise. Like, the healthier and fitter you have become, the rest of your life is now reaping the rewards of that, would you say? So, like you said, you're a better mother, you're a better wife, because you're present, you're energetic, you're getting quality sleep, obviously your diet is on point. So, all these things, life is just good.
It is, and my hormones are balanced, which is another big one now.
Yep.
Compared to what they have been. And look, I'm going to say it, I feel the sexiest I've been ever. I just rocking it. Like, life-changing stuff that we're doing. And it's liberating.
There you go. Liberating. I like that. That's awesome. Yeah. So how do you feel, because obviously I know at the moment you're obviously eating a lot of food and you are slowly but surely getting a little bit bigger, and when we say bigger, your body is changing with the food. Do you still feel thicker? Okay, let's use that. Thicker and leaner, they're the two extremes.
Yeah.
So do you feel comfortable now more so than you did back then by putting on a bit of weight and being the healthier version of you?
Absolutely.
Even though you are still, the scale weight is technically still going up?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I'm mentally strong. And I'm physically strong. So I think it all goes hand in hand. Again, having those influences and the right people around you, and that just, I don't know, to wake up and look forward to every day and what we're going to do, and just being the best mother and showing my girls like this quality of life that we can have if we choose the path. So I think, it's all part of the journey. Get on the journey.
It is, absolutely. And you got I'm going to do this without notice, but you got another journey coming up that's pretty exciting, haven't you?
We do, we do.
Yeah.
I thought you might bring this up. I'm like, I better put this on Facebook last night because I'm
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, so look, that was a whirlwind. We weren't expecting such a life-changing move right now, but it's here. We're embracing it.
Yep.
And Ryan's doing fantastic things in his career. It's a family move to California.
Yep.
It's coming up. We're a team, so it's that's how Ryan and I like to embrace everything. Like we're a strong team. So
great philosophy to have. Yeah.
We can do everything and anything, and to take the girls on another journey and adventure is just amazing, and we're so grateful that we can give them such an opportunity.
Oh, culturally, it'd just be awesome for them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Em's going back to her homeland, like she's a little US citizen anyway, so it's amazing. She's buzzing because she feels extra special at the moment.
There you go. She could just walk straight through customs. You guys all have to get stamped and checked and
Well, she's in the family, so we can come down her path too.
Oh, hey, look out. There we go. Advantages.
No long lines for us.
Hey.
But hey, look, what comes with moving to America is some different bodybuilding competitions, doesn't it?
100% it does. That's when you first told me, I actually got really excited because if you do compete over there, obviously you'll be my first overseas competitor. But in America, there's an abundance of opportunity to compete. There's so many federations. It's a really popular sport. So yeah, you're going to have your pick of the litter. It's really exciting.
I better start researching because I haven't got a clue yet.
That's all right. You got time. It's okay.
Plenty of time. But
plenty of time. Fun. Yeah, 100%. I might have to look at flights, see if I can sneak over for a few days to be backstage support.
Oh, I'd love that. That would be awesome. We go to Vegas.
Yeah, let's do that. That could be dangerous.
As long as we plan to have the fun afterwards.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, how good. How good. So, your Instagram, Nat Fit Mum, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Natalie Fit Mum. Yep.
Natalie_Fit Mum. So if anyone's listening that would like to follow along Nat's journey, or have a look back at some of her bodybuilding pictures and stuff, because there's pretty cool ones up there. A lot of ones with gold medallions around her neck and everything. They're pretty cool. Yeah. So jump on board there. So final question, Nat, and once again, I appreciate you giving up your time today while the girls are sleeping. Who would you invite over to dinner? So obviously I ask everyone this. It can be male, female, alive, dead, fictional, non-fictional. Who would you love to sit down with and have a meal with and just obviously pick their brain or have a good conversation?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I had to have a think of this because I knew this question was coming.
Yep.
But I'm going to say Rhonda Byrne. She is the author of the book The Secret. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, okay. Now that's different. And why is that?
Yeah. Well, that book has been a big part of my life for a number of years.
Okay.
And I refer to it a fair bit. And look, it uses the law of attraction. So as to attract things in our lives via our thoughts and images for the things that we want. So it's that ask, believe, receive. And it's my motto. I'll say it. Look, it's always been there, but it's how we activate it in our minds that for good rather than bad.
Yep.
And just I drive into car parks and I say to the girls, let's picture the car park. 99.9% of the time we get the car park.
There you go. Yeah, bit of manifesting.
I just love to meet her and pick her brain and like how she come about writing these books. Like, and there's a few of the books she's done. I've only read The Secret and one other. I know there's like 5 of them now, and she's just brought out another.
Yep.
But yeah, just to pick her brain on how she come about writing these books and best philosophy. If you just got that positive mindset, it can take you places. So,
there you go. Great point to finish on. That is fantastic. Awesome. Well, thank you, Nat.
Paul.
I really appreciate that. That was good. No, that was really good. Good insight. It's always good to get a female perspective, someone who's walked the walk and done it. And, obviously you've lived and breathed the old school mentality of how health and fitness used to be. And now you're embracing the new way, the more healthier alternative current way that it is today. And you're a walking example of what that can actually provide in terms of not only physique, health, fitness, but just lifestyle in general. And you're living proof of it. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. No, thanks very much, Paul, and thanks for having me on today. I feel like it's an absolute privilege to be on your podcast.
Oh, no, it's not a problem. What are we up to? Episode 83, I think it is. So, yeah, it should have been sooner. I didn't even think of it. And this is a problem because you live so far away. That's all it is.
That's okay. I'm glad. It's good timing. I'm ready for it. So
absolutely.
Yeah, no, thanks again for having me on.
No worries at all.